Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to start off by apologizing. I know we're 11, 12 minutes late, and we have our featured guest speakers today had some technical issues with the go-to webinar software. So again, my apologies. We should be all set now, so they're going to take over in about 5 to 7 minutes here. We have two presenters from the life and annuity side. I can promise you'll still get plenty of bang for the buck. The goal is that you walk away with nuggets, sales ideas on the life and annuity side that you can start using this afternoon and over the holiday week and weekend, right? To make more sales, move the needle. That's the name of the game. If we can just mute the lines, guys, that would be great. Okay, so what we're going to do, I want to start off with just a couple new things here at Levinson, and then, like I said, about 5 or 7 minutes, and then I'm going to introduce F&G's presenters. So real quick, also, I don't want to forget, what we're going to do is right before 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to ask a question that has to do with our presentation. Whoever answers first incorrectly, as always, walks away with the Apple AirPods and the new IUL prospecting book, which ties in perfectly with today's presentations. So make sure you're on until the end. Also, any questions, comments, feedback that you have along the way, please use that Q&A pane, or just wait until we hang up and speak to any one of our 11 marketers. We can all help you. And then if we need to grab Curry and Chris from F&G, we can do that as well. Okay, but the goal is that you are super comfortable with all of the products, the platforms, and everything that I'm going over today. All right, so I know everybody's looking forward to this 3-day holiday weekend, but again, the goal is that, number one, you walk away with a prospecting book, AirPods. In fact, everyone could be a winner, because if you go on our Levinson Facebook page or you leave a review on our Google Reviews link, then you get your choice, either Mary Reed Sales Strategies Prospecting Book or the IUL Prospecting Book. You pick, we pay. So make sure you do that. Okay, so speaking of testimonials, you, meaning our agent, you are our number one. You're our customer. Okay, so when we see these testimonials, reviews come in, it means the world, not just to me, but our entire staff, over 4 different states now. Okay, we share these. In fact, we're doing a luncheon tomorrow for the holiday based on the feedback from you all. So please don't stop sharing. Plus, you want and we want to give you one of these prospecting books complimentary. So make sure you do that. Chris, Tamara, Angela, Al, and Joseph, that's everything. Okay, plus, right, I just sent out that 4-minute video that talks about the 5 things you need to know as an independent agent in 2025. And one of them is a lot of these IMOs and BGAs now, right, are opening up their own call centers, or they're selling out of their office, which is just, in my opinion, a big red flag conflict of interest. So you need to know you're our number one. Andrew, if we can mute those lines, that would be great. I'm getting a little feedback. So
yep. So the panelists will have to mute on their end. I can't do it on my end.
Okay, guys, if you can just mute the line for a few more minutes, that would be great. So the bottom line is, you need to know whoever you're working with, whoever your applications are being shared with, right? So the case managers can do their part, that they are 100% wholesalers and they're not selling on the side. Okay, it's not good, and I'm seeing it more and more lately. So my point, you need to ask these questions. We get it. You work with at least 2 to 3 IMOs, which is fine. But just know enough to be dangerous and ask the questions, get the answers in writing, make sure you're not handcuffed to a contract for 3.5 years that you can't get out of. Okay, anyway, check out my 4-minute video, but the main point here is you all mean the world to us. So I just wanted to add that slide and touch on this quickly. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next too is talk about, number one, F&G, okay? They're a big deal. They have a great FIA product, great indexed universal life products to choose from, great compensation.
Bill, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, this is Curry. So I'm on.
Yep, we're actually live right now.
Okay. Yep. I
Yep.
was hoping maybe you could share my screen or my slide deck that I sent over when you get a chance, and I can run through it if that will work.
Yep.
But sorry to interrupt. But
I'm going to run for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to introduce both of you guys, and then we'll be able to share your slide. And like I was telling everybody, to our agents, we had some technical issues. That's why we're having these things come up. So again, I apologize. It was either cancel the call or give it a shot, and I think we're all fine now. So we're good to go. Okay, so back to my slide in front of us. We wanted to show all the agents, right? And I know this is being recorded, so we're going to have thousands of agents viewing this over the next few weeks. But the point is, yes, we have all of the top IUL companies. That's what you're looking at in front of you. But when it comes to the core companies, the top 10 that we represent, okay, there's a reason why F&G is on the top left. Number one, they're the featured presenter. Number two, between their compensation, cash value, riders, and great bullets around their IUL, that's the second part, okay? And you're going to hear that in another couple of minutes here. You're going to hear the main reason in the story around this. So you're also going to notice the red asterisk, which means scholarship approved. So that's another big deal. That's our complimentary program. And then last but not least, you can quote most of these products right through our website and go right to the e-application. It's a easy two-step process where everything pre-populates for you, okay? All right, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is switch gears and talk about annuities for a second. Yes, the industry is on fire, okay? And there's no denying that 24 was a record year, and it looks like 25 should beat out 24 the way it's going right now. And I can also tell you this, the last 8 to 12 weeks internally in our office, we've had more premium than we've had since 1972. Okay, it's unbelievable. My main point is you all need to know enough to be dangerous because these products are being sold. And why not you? Why not you being able to offer these solutions to your existing book, to new prospects, right? Share some stories on social media. Get the word out. Rates are excellent. You have guarantees. I mean, the biggest question is, do you want accumulation or income? And we can show you the way. In between Josh, RJ, Ashley K, and Michelle on the admin side, we're here to help. We'll do everything behind the scenes to make sure that you can go out there, make the sale, and we take it from there. And hopefully you get your commission check within 14 days, okay, if everything lines up. Now, what you're going to notice on the left-hand side, again, all of our top annuity carriers. You're also going to see F&G highlighted there in yellow because they have a great story to tell that you can relate to your consumers. And they have a half-point bonus on the FIA product that started yesterday. So that's another chance. Not, on top of the awesome agent-level comp, another half point of bonus. So again, that's a big deal. And that's why we wanted to do this before the holiday weekend. Okay, let's move on to our main slide here. We're going to switch gears again. So I want to take a second to introduce Curry and Chris. And what I'm going to tell you is this is the first time we ever had an F&G focused life and annuity webinar within 50 minutes. So strap in, relax, ask plenty of questions in that Q&A pane. And we're going to let Curry start us off, and then we'll roll into Chris's annuity presentation. Curry, are you there?
I am here. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I think there's just something internally here at F&G that was blocking this. So I very much apologize. But happy to speak with you guys today. Appreciate you having us on. I will kick it off and talk about our life product. I'll do my best to cover everything while maybe going a little bit faster than I normally would, but there is a lot of information for me to cover here. We're going to be talking about our Path Setter product and then our Everlast product. We keep it really simple here at F&G on the life side, as we actually only have 2 products that we offer here on the life side at F&G, and they are both IULs. So certainly shouldn't be too confusing, but if we go to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about how we can differentiate between the two. So when we think about life insurance, what we've done here is we try to make it so that you can choose depending on whatever it is that your client has in mind for a goal that we can dial it into. So if you were to go from that list, go from bottom up rather than top to the bottom, you'll see that we can make the acronym ALL, aspirations, legacy, and living, meaning that we can cover aspirations if it means that you want to create a legacy plan, or create a plan to accumulate cash, to maybe save up for retirement, or maybe the client is wanting to head into another direction and they want to leave behind a death benefit. Maybe they're a little bit older, and then in that case, it would be our Everlast product. Or if it's something where they want one or the other, but they also want to focus on living benefits, and I think we can all agree, in-home cost care or inpatient care is not getting any cheaper, and we are certainly seeing life insurance become an asset for clients to choose to help pay for some of that. So living benefits are important. Good news is we have a really well-positioned one here at F&G. So again, this is what we consider our dial. But if we move into the Path Setter product here moving forward, we'll talk about some of the strengths and why it is so competitive. You think about maybe the most revolutionary business model of our lifetime being Amazon, right? What's so great about Amazon? Well, really two things. You can get just about anything that you want from it, and you have the ability to get it really, really fast. Now, at F&G, over on the life side, we've made it easy. We only have 2 products. We're not going to be able to offer you everything. But that second part is something that we're really trying to be a pioneer in. We are trying to make it really, really fast for your client to get approved and get their policy placed. So we'll cover this product, but also, some of our processes that have allowed us to do so. We know that the longer that it takes for the client to get a policy, the more time it has becoming in jeopardy of the client not taking the policy. So if we can take away some of that time, I know it's pretty cliche that time is the biggest killer in deals, but to be honest, it's the truth, and research shows it. So we're doing our best to make underwriting a priority for us so that we can get the policy in place faster and you as the financial professional paid quicker. So a little bit about our IULs and what makes them so competitive in the marketplace today. Really, you have to start with our high cap and reliable cap rate history. If you've been selling IULs for a long time, you know that some carriers have a tendency to start really high with a product and their cap rates and slowly over time diminish those. Well, I'm really proud at F&G to say that we've actually, going back nearly 15 years, we have only decreased our cap rate on our product chassis with a Path Setter only 3%. So that means over the course of 15 years, for it to only go down 3% is absolutely amazing. I think we started at 15 and now we sit at 12% today on our 1-year point to point. I don't think there's another carrier that can say that at all. So that not only is that a big deal, right now, but it shows that in the future that we have absolutely no appetite to go ahead and reduce rates. So it's certainly a strong selling point for you as the financial professional. Now, when setting up an IUL for cash accumulation, most of the time you're also setting it up to take out income down the road. What makes the Path Setter so competitive is that we offer a 5% cap on our variable loan rate, which is the variable loan is certainly the most common type of income that we see here at F&G being taken. And that just means we can never charge higher than 5% with our loan if a client does want to take a variable loan. And that is contractually guaranteed. We don't know what interest rates are going to be like down the road. We know that it could certainly be very volatile. So knowing that we're locking it in at 5% and we can never go above that is a big deal. You look at interest rates maybe 5 years ago when they were low, right? When they were maybe in the 2%, low 3%. We can certainly get down there, and we were. So it's not stuck at 5%. We can actually go below, all the way down below that if needed. 5.5% is the Everlast cap, but again, the Everlast is more of a death benefit focused product. So typically, you're not setting it up to take cash value from that policy. We offer a large selection of interest crediting options for the client. So we don't just have an S&P option or one maybe volatility control strategy. We have a wide selection of them, and we'll get into those here in the future. And then our living benefits. I noted that we are super competitive with our living benefits. We'll touch on that also. And then our exam-free underwriting. This is where we have our biggest competitive advantage here as far as the process goes, alongside to pair with an amazing product. So just some details about the path setter here. You can move to the next slide. We'll just take a general look about what this product looks like. We can go all the way down to 50,000. So who's this product for? It's really for everyone, including juveniles. Actually, about 25% of our business with the path setter is for juveniles, believe it or not. So it's a big deal. So when you go in with a meeting with a client, to me, this feels like low-hanging fruit, right? I'd say most people have either children or grandchildren that you could also make a sale to. And again, no one does juveniles better than we do here at F&G. We will absolutely accept that business. We do have a floor of 0.25%. So those 25 basis points will be credited at a minimum on an annual basis. So with an IUL, most of the time, 0 is going to be your hero, as it can never lose money. With F&G, 25 basis points is going to be your superhero. And then if you look at the bottom left, we do have some strategies that have a 1% bonus that begin in year 2. That's not all strategies, but there are some. That would just mean that your floor now becomes 1.25 moving forward in that second year. And that happens automatically. So there's no trigger that needs to happen. There's no fee for those bonuses. It just happens automatically year 2, which sets up for an easy story for your client. And then also we offer a persistency bonus, or maybe what's referred to as a loyalty bonus that begins in the 11th year. So if we take a look at some of our asset allocations and what we have to offer, there's a few of them here. We can move to the next slide. And the default actually on the illustration software is going to be the Morgan Stanley with the 90% participation rate and 1% bonus, and then the BlackRock asset allocation. So those are your two options that are on by default on the illustration software, but you're absolutely able to mix and match however you want. And then the next slide will have some S&P strategies for you as well. I think we have 4 different S&P strategies, so we can move on to the next slide. The most common one being just that 100% participation rate, just because it does have that 12% cap, which is, I believe, one of, if not the highest S&P strategy out there right now. And again, 0.25% will be the floor on that one. Or if you like a fixed rate, typically most people don't go specifically with that, but there is a 4.75% rate right now currently. I think that's been the rate for the last 5 years. So it's actually relatively high at 4.75 if you want some sort of conservative strategy. All right. Now, the Everlast. Again, we actually just recently revamped our Everlast product. It was really a product that was very seldomly used, but as we sit here today, it is picking up a ton of traction, and I will tell you why. So, looking at the details here, same thing. We can actually go all the way down to age 0, all the way up to age 80, but the big kicker is that this is typically used for a death benefit focused scenario. So if you do have someone that's maybe a little older in their 50s or 60s, this might be the product for them. But what we've done when we've revamped it is we have made it very friendly in the underwriting process. So with this product, if you submit it and the client is under the age of 60, or excuse me, between the ages of 18 and 60, and they want $500,000 of death benefit or less, we are never, ever, ever going to ask for an APS or a telephone interview like we may do with the Path Setter product. We reserve the right here at F&G with underwriting to request an APS or request a telephone interview with a client. No matter what, it's going to go through our exam-free underwriting process, and we'll talk about that here shortly. But we are never going to request it. And you know, again, if you've been writing life insurance for a while, you know those APSs or those telephone interviews can certainly hinder the underwriting process and cause maybe add a couple of weeks onto the whole process. So what we've done, again, is just eliminate another touch point for the client, not doing the interview. And again, it's really easy for you as a financial professional to go ahead and know when you submit this case, we are not going to reach out and ask for a telephone interview or an APS. It is just going to go right through to the underwriter. The other thing that we've done is we've boosted the S&P strategy to have a 12% cap as well. So as you recall, I mentioned that the Path Setter, our accumulation product, had a 12% cap. We've also matched that here with this Everlast product. And then the other thing that we've done is we've actually added a rolling target onto this product. So if the client is not overfunding, we can go ahead and pay you out moving into the next year, which again, most of the time you're not with this death benefit focused product. So we can pay up to the target the next year. All right, next slide here. So this is just a little bit of a competitive scenario about where we fit currently. When we built this product and revamped it, this is kind of where we thought we'd fall in line. Maybe you guys have access to some of these other carriers, maybe not. But as you can see, for this specific scenario with a 50-year-old male and a $200 a month premium, we are able to have the highest death benefit while also having the highest target premium. So meaning the client gets the most amount of death benefit, and then also you as the producer will be able to get paid more than maybe you would with some of those other carriers. So again, this is just an example. This is where we fit. We were nowhere near the top of this here just a few months ago, but now where we sit, we feel really good. So moving on to, I believe, living benefits here. You can skip this slide. I know we're a little pressed for time. I want to give Chris plenty of availability to speak to you. So we offer all three of our living benefits, chronic, critical, and terminal. Critical is going to be your basic, if a client suffers a heart attack or a stroke, this is where this living benefit would come into play. And then we actually pay out 100% of the death benefit up to $1 million. So $1 million is going to be the cap, or the face amount, whichever is less. We are able to pay out the death benefit at time of claim. So if you have an increasing death benefit on the policy, we are able to pay out, let's say you start off with $500,000 initially, it's an increasing death benefit. 20 years down the road, you're at $750,000. we will pay based on that $750,000. So you're able to get up to 100% of the death benefit at time of claim, with the max being $1 million. Terminal illness, pretty self-explanatory. The only thing that might be a little bit different is that we actually are able to pay out if a client is given 24 months or less of life expectancy, so 2 years or less, unless you're in the state of Florida. I believe their state rule is 12 months or less. And then chronic illness does work a little bit differently. This is if the client is unable to perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. We will pay up to 25% of the death benefit per year until you reach 100%. So in other words, it still pays out 100%. It would just take you 4 years to get that, to use up all of your death benefit. But these are all available up to Table 4 or better. So we underwrite through Table 8. These are available Table 4 and better. And then the other thing, there is no waiting period for any of these. So I know some carriers might have like a 30, 60, 90-day waiting period. We do not. As soon as this policy is effective and something were to happen, the client would be able to claim. So really competitive in this field with the living benefits. Again, certainly something that clients are buying life insurance more and more for this sort of protection. All right, I will round it out with underwriting, and then I will share some of this time with Chris. So with F&G, we actually have what's called Insta approval, meaning as soon as you complete our EAP process, if the client is 60 or younger, they actually have the ability to know right when you submit the application if they've been approved or not. Now, we actually came out with this for juveniles back in 2024, and that was kind of our initial release to see how it would go. It went absolutely amazing. We have now in 2025 made this for adults as well. So again, what happens is we have you complete a part 1 of the application, and what this is really like an authorization process, allowing us to go behind the scenes into the details, the MIB, motor vehicle records, prescription, and we pull all of that data while then you have moved on to part 2, filling out more of the medical questions, so that when you hit submit on the application, it will cross-check the data that we pulled based on the answers that you've provided on the application. And it allows us to say, okay, we have the information that we need. This client is approved at preferred or standard. Now, what this means is you as a financial professional are really going to have to do your digging and be a good field underwriter, filling out everything correctly. This is more for the healthier clients that would be put at preferred, but it is a possibility for everyone age 60 or younger. If the client is not instantly approved, I'll show you now in the next slide what will happen. So we will have exam-free underwriting no matter what. So that was instant approval. That was being instantly approved as soon as you submit the application. If not, this is what will happen. Anyone 60 or younger looking for $1 million or less are still going to go through our exam-free underwriting process. I mean, they are not going to have to do an exam no matter what. So 60 or younger, $1 million or less, no paramedical, no matter what. So you could have a client that gets Table 8 that is 60 years old for $1 million, no medical, and you already know that when you submit the application. Again, it is such a good feeling knowing that you can tell the client, hey, we are not going to have to do any blood work going into this because you fit these parameters right here. So that is our advantage. It's something that we came out with a few years ago, and it has really set us apart. If you've done business with us, you know what a luxury this process is. Again, it allows the client to go through faster and a lot more painless for the client, and then also you as a financial professional, you're going to get paid out quicker. And then if you do foreign national business with us, I will say we are very friendly with that, with non-U.S. citizens, and they are actually able to get exam-free underwriting as well, up to $300,000. So that's a big deal. Most time with carriers, when they hear non-U.S. citizen, it is an automatic paramed no matter what. We are able to go up to $300,000. And another thing that separates F&G is that we also take ITINs. Other carriers don't. We do, and we accept a widespread of visas as well. So if you have clients that might fit this criteria, feel free to give us a call. Feel free to give underwriting a call and get a risk assessment to see if this is something that we would take. But I will say we are pretty liberal. So just to round it out, that's all I had for you guys. Just know that we at F&G like to keep a simple story here on the life side. We have an amazing product. And as you can see, we also have such an easy process for both the client and then you as a financial professional. So I appreciate you letting us share our life products with you. I will go ahead and get my contact information over to Bill. If any of you have any questions moving forward, feel free to reach out to me and I will direct you as needed. But I will turn the stage over to Chris. Chris, you can take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Curry. So we will be getting to share. Unfortunately, I can't share my screen, but I have provided our microsite, which is a very handy resource to utilize. It's a resource that you don't have to log into, so you don't have to go into SalesLink to see all of these details. You can just go ahead and pull it up. So the URL for this, in case you can't see that, maybe they can also share it in the chat, is success.fglife.com/annuities. I'll let you know which things to click on as we go through this. We'll kind of give a really high level overview of some products, and then we'll dive into maybe one, maybe two, a little bit more. So right here on the main page, you can see that there is a link for our view product rates. So you can see those rates right from here. You don't have to log into SalesLink. But scrolling down a little bit farther, we get into the white background and it says product suite. We've broken up our products into 3 different categories: growth focused, income focused, and legacy focused. And that's really to get you down into what area to look for, depending on what the client's looking for. So just a really high overview. The first 2 products that you'll see there, Accumulator Plus and Power Accumulator, those are our no frills accumulation products. So they're the exact same thing, only with different indices available. So you can kind of dive into those a little bit on your own if you just need accumulation, no riders, no nothing, just pure accumulation. The next product would be Flex Accumulator. It's a little bit more of a niche product, but it's really good for certain things. On this product, what people utilize it for is going to be in the predictable liquidity. So people will utilize this to help pay for IULs or to help delay taking Social Security. And what you can do is you can take out up to 10% of the initial premium starting right away. So you put in $100,000 and you can pull out $10,000 every single year for that first 10 years. And then at the end of that surrender period, you have essentially whatever interest you've earned over that 10-year period. So really good for those maybe more niche scenarios where you're paying for life insurance or you are delaying Social Security, delaying turning on another income product, but really good for those. The next one is Performance Pro, and I'll have you go ahead and click on Performance Pro and kind of show you what these page layouts look like. At the very top of the page, you'll see some product details regarding this product. And that'll be a lot of the key selling points. For example, on this product, depending on the state and the age of the client, you can get up to a 15% premium bonus that goes right into that account value. And on this product, if you'll see there, it says low fee. We have only 10 basis points, so 0.1% of a fee on this product. So very low, almost nothing for that fee on this product. If you scroll down a little bit farther, I'll have you click on the Performance Pro at a glance. And this is really our agent fact sheets. So if you have questions regarding any of these products, pull up the at a glance document, these agent fact sheets, bullet point information on these things, and you can kind of dive down and get pretty much any of the details that you need to know. So a real quick layout, you can see the ages up top. the minimum premium is always going to be $10,000 for any of our fixed index annuities. You can add additional premiums to any of our fixed index annuities. Unless I say otherwise, it's a minimum of $2,000 per time that you submit a check, and that can be submitted at any point. As long as you are not on an income product and have activated income, then you can continue to add those additional premiums. We will pay out commissions on any premiums paid within the first contract year. If you're going to have somebody, continuing to add additional premiums, maybe look at a trailing commission option in some of those scenarios that you can kind of talk through with your folks at Levinson and Associates. Down a little bit farther, we have that bonus section. So right here, you can see, depending on the state and how old the client is, you can get up to a 15% bonus. Below that would be our interest crediting options, a variety of options on this one. And then below that, on the next pages, you go through withdrawals, and if there are income options on any of the products, typically it's on that. But you can see there's a lot of bullet point information on these pages here. Go ahead and close out of that tab, and you'll go back to that Performance Pro main page. And underneath that at a glance document, you'll see more details or more documents that you can utilize. All of the documents on any one of these pages pertain directly to the product that you're under. So a lot of resources here right at your fingertips to get in and help your clients out with whatever details you need. One thing to mention on Performance Pro, since we're on this one, and it's that very minimal fee bonus product. It's really a bonus accumulation story. What people are utilizing this for right now is to get people into a better interest rate environment. So if they're already in an annuity and it's not really performing very well, or the interest or the cap rate participation rates are just very low, we want to get them into a better interest rate environment so they can earn more money or have that opportunity to. And what that bonus can be utilized for is a bonus offset. So to leave that current policy that they're in, there's more than likely going to be a surrender charge that's going to be applicable to that value that they're going to be receiving. We can take the bonus of up to 15% and offset all or some of that surrender or MBA penalties that they have coming out of that existing policy. And after that bonus offset, we can still, suitability-wise, take up to a 3% net loss when we're moving into an accumulation product. So consider that when you're looking through your clients' portfolios or your book of business. If you have any of those policies that just aren't performing, or the client's not happy with the accumulation, they want to get into a better environment, consider Performance Pro and see if we can get into a better interest rate environment. Go ahead and click on out of Performance Pro and get back to that main page where we have all of those products listed. And then if we go down just a little bit, we get into the income-focused products. I will dive into Safe Income Advantage. So go ahead and click on Safe Income Advantage. This is our #1 selling product for annuities. So Safe Income Advantage is your guaranteed income play. In many scenarios, depending on how old the client is when they're activating income, for those people that are in that age of retiring, we're probably at the very top of the guaranteed income play for across the industry. And if we're not, we're very close. And this is a very easy one to kind of place clients into as well, because we're talking about guaranteed income. We don't care what the market does. We're working off of guarantees. So if you scroll down a little bit, we get into that white background, what makes Safe Income Advantage different. Kind of in that middle box there, we have a 7.2% roll up to that income base, right? So that's every year that you're deferring for that first 10 years, you're getting a 7.2% roll up on that income base, and we're crediting that daily. So literally every day that you're waiting to turn on income, the client would get a little bit higher income. Not only that, when they have their birthday, that's probably partway through their anniversary there, they'll move up a payout factor because we have dynamic payout factors. It goes off of age and duration of time within the product. So, and I'll show you on an example of an illustration or annuity calculator at the very bottom if we have a little bit of time of what that kind of looks like and how to view that. We do have a 1.15% fee on this product. And this product is not really focused on growing the account value. Bottom left-hand side, we do have our indices available, but really focused on that guaranteed roll-up. Moving over to the right, we have an impairment multiplier on any one of our income products. Really simply, you have to enter into the policy able to function all 6 activities of daily living. If after the first contract year, you lose at least 2 out of 6 ADLs, you now qualify for that impairment multiplier. And then the actual multiplication of the income can begin after the 3rd contract year. And that would be double income for an individual and 1.5 times income for joint income. And that's going to continue for as long as you have an account value. After that account value goes to 0, you just go back to the original income that you were receiving before. Moving up to the top right-hand side, we have, once you do activate the income, we have 3 different options that you're going to select between of what you're going to receive for income. So we have a level income, which is probably the most popular option. It's the highest income that you'll start at, and it will continue at that same amount for the rest of the client's life. Then we have 2 increasing options. One is a fixed increasing option. So you'll activate the income, and it'll be lower than the level income. But every single year that you have an account value, your income increases. You get a raise of 3.5% up until that account value goes to 0. And then whatever amount you've gotten up to, you'll receive that moving forward for the rest of your life. And then the last option would be an increasing option based off of the CPIU index that tracks inflation. So again, you activate the income and you choose the inflation-based increasing income. It starts off lower than that level income, but every year that you have an account value, your income will increase depending on that CPIU index, anywhere between 0% as a floor and 5% as a cap. So anywhere between 0 and 5%, you're getting a raise, and up again until the account value goes to 0. Then whatever that amount is, you'll receive moving forward for the rest of your life. So fantastic options for those clients, kind of customizable for what they might want. If we scroll again very towards the bottom, we see all of these pages, these sales materials. We get into a blue background now where it says additional sales resources. If you click on the annuity calculator right there in the middle, it will pull up a very handy resource. Think of it as a mini illustration. So just working really quickly on the left-hand side, the 3rd option down is the drop-down product name. Switch that to Safe Income Advantage. We're going to leave it at $100,000, continuing down that left-hand side. The second to last one, change that 10 years to 0. We want to start income immediately on this one. And then the very last one, change that to a 3 in that inflation rate percent. And then on the right-hand side where it says date of birth, just go ahead and put in 0101. Let's do 1958. So that gives us a 67-year-old. And then go ahead and click on calculate. And once that pulls up for you, then you'll be able to see right at the top of the page some of the quick details about the client, what that income is going to be, kind of towards the middle left-hand side. $7,860 is what they get guaranteed. Scroll down a little bit, we're in that level income. This shows if you were to defer any year, this is what that starting income would be for that level income. So if you were to wait a year, you now get $8,619, kind of towards that right-hand side there. Wait another year, $9,366. A little above that, right below the purple buttons, you'll see kind of tabs there. If you click on deferral year, this is what I was talking about when we have that daily crediting. So in that deferral year tab, this is the year that we've activated the income, which on this one, if you remember, we activated it immediately. Now, if we were to wait 1 month, you get down to that X months, go down to 1, and you can see that income, it was at $7,860. It's now at $7,906. So is it worth it for the client to wait 1 month before activating income? Sometimes it can be a fairly significant amount. If you recall, I mentioned also that the income, that withdrawal percentage will increase when they have their date of birth. So 6 months in, we can see that that guaranteed withdrawal percentage moves from 7.86 now to 8.02%. So we had our birthday there, and now our income increased again from the prior year, $8,091 to $8,304. So this can be a really good resource to utilize to help customize your clients when they're planning to activate that income. The following pages, you'll see those other tabs: fixed increasing income and inflation-based income. If you click on either one of those, you'll see we've activated income immediately. And here's what that looks like based off of the criteria of that increasing income option. If we click out of that tab and go back to that main page where it has all of those annuities, I'll wrap up here just really quickly. Right next to Safe Income Advantage is Accelerator Plus. That's more of a accumulation income hybrid. It's performance-driven income, so that can be a really good kind of do-all product for you at only 0.95 basis points. The one right below that is F&G 123, and that's our newest product offering. We just launched in February. That's more of a income death benefit play. Performance-driven income again, but you have two paths. You got an anytime income where you can activate income at any point, and that has a 35% bonus into the income base. And then on future income, another path that you can choose to go down, you have to wait at least 10 years before activating income, but that one has a 50% bonus into that income base. And on that product, I mentioned it's also a death benefit play. You can utilize that income base as an enhanced death benefit, essentially a death benefit that pays out over at least 5 years. So could be a very good option for people that want to pass on a legacy as well, a performance-driven legacy. And that's a very good product. If you click into that one and scroll down to the bottom, there is a recorded webinar on that page. So you can look at that on your own time. It's about a 30-minute recording. Back on the main page again, just to mention the very last product under legacy focus, most of the time people are utilizing that one for a guaranteed enhanced death benefit. Again, it has an income play, and you can utilize that income base for that payout that gets paid out over a 5-year period. So people have been utilizing that for a guaranteed enhanced death benefit play. That's a really quick download of our products, just a high-level overview. Key ones, again, Performance Pro with that bonus to do any bonus offset, and Safe Income Advantage, guaranteed income. Take a look at it. I guarantee you will like what you see. I'll go ahead and pass on back over, and we can wrap on up.
Thank you, Chris. Great job, Curry. Great job. And, number one, just know you can reach out to any one of our marketers on the annuity side, the life side. We'll steer you in the right direction and get you everything that you need so you can go out and make the sale, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, I have about 3 minutes left here, and then we'll have our giveaway. What I want to talk about, let's go to the first slide here. If you're already set up with F&G with Levinson, great. If you're not, you want to transfer over. We match or beat your existing grid, as you know, and then you get cash for contracting or free orphan leads with your first paid application. So make sure you take advantage of that. If you're not sure if you need a release or not, whatever, just email me directly and we will look into that for you. Typically, we can get that release for you if needed. Let me also mention, if you're with us today with F&G or with not, and you want to take advantage of our complimentary orphan lead program, very simple. It's at least $10,000 of premium annually. Okay, so if you write a minimum of $10,000 of place premium in a 12-month period, boom, you are in for a free batch of orphans. And I can tell you our average size case with the orphans is about $30,000 to $50,000 of target premium in commission. So make sure you take advantage. Also with F&G, we have a direct IMO contract, meaning the renewals comp is a full pass-through. There's not 17 layers in between. Okay, let's keep moving forward. I know we're a little bit late here, and I also, again, want to apologize about those technical issues. It's a little embarrassing, and I from my heart, I really appreciate you all staying on and being patient with us, and I truly apologize, and we will make sure that shouldn't happen again. I'm not going to say ever happen again because I know things happen that are out of our control, but I really, truly apologize. Okay, Allianz. So this is a little different type of IUL product focused on cash accumulation. Comp is also great. Here's the best part. Check out the fire sale details below. So it doesn't matter if it's a non-smoker prospect or client, they can go from table 2 to preferred best automatically. You don't have to do anything or say anything. If it's a smoker, they go from standard tobacco to preferred tobacco. We're talking 20 to 60% of a premium savings. Now's the time to go back to your book of business, right? For maybe clients that were rated up to say, hey, Bobby, Shelley, great news. I know you came in standard with company ABC. Guess what? I can now get you preferred best. Here's an illustration for $100,000 or $1 million or whatever. Okay. And go back to that book and spark some new interest using the program. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about what's new at Levinson. We have over 90 carriers, right? Thousands of products on all sides. And it's impossible for you to keep up with all the moving parts, what's hot, what's not. So just check out our literally bi-weekly alert. So this is for life and annuity, all carriers, all products, and all platforms that Levinson offers exclusively. And most of these are complimentary. So check that one out. It went out last night, but if it's not in your inbox, let us know. That means it's probably in your spam folder or we have your incorrect email. Okay, next up, Bill Levinson Experience Podcast. This was probably one of my favorite episodes ever since we started this 8 years ago. Here's why. So episode 59 was with Coach Danny. We know, right? Here we are, middle of 2025, summertime. Agents are asking about leads more than ever. You know, the mortgage industry has dried up. What does that mean? Mortgage protection leads have dried up. So agents, right, and the more creative and scrappy agents are saying, oh my gosh, you know, I got to pivot. I got to get my name out there. I got to create my own leads. Well, the name of the game is social media generated leads, right? Run your own ads. Start utilizing SEO. And here's another option on the right-hand side through AI, right? We all know what AI is by now. We know the basics. This was an agent that just typed in, hey, I want to work with a great agency in Florida that handles IUL and annuity that has direct contracts, and boom, Levinson and Associates came up. Turns out, makes the call. He has 12 downlines, big agency, and he's off to the races. So my point is, think about you doing that on a retail scale, okay? For, hey, I want the best agent in Florida, okay? I want to buy an IUL product or a FIA product, and your name comes up, okay? So Danny literally goes over all of this from A to Z. It's 30 minutes. I know you can spare 30 minutes over this 3-day weekend. Check that one out when you get a chance. You'll love it, I promise you. In fact, let me know your thoughts. All right, social media posts. These are examples that we show every week of agents that are out there like you that are moving the needle in the social media world. And how are they doing it? Not by reinventing the wheel. They're changing a few spokes, right? They're using other people's or companies' ideas, and they're changing a few things, which is what you should be doing. On the left-hand side, is this rocket science? 5 reasons why life insurance is important for young families? No. Okay? Look at the likes, the shares, and the comments on the bottom. Okay? In the bottom right corner of that post, 395 people shared it. Okay? Almost 500 people liked it. 3 people had questions. Now, look, that's literally 500 plus leads for you to reach out to. Okay, you got to start thinking like this. On the right-hand side is annuities. This agent gave an example, moving over 650 grand at age 55 into an indexed annuity, waiting 7 years, can give you a payout of 88 grand per year for retirement. Most people are saying, no way, how did you do it? Must be illegal or gray. No, it's not. It's called an FIA product, and you should be targeting ages 50 to 75, even 55 to 75 is the sweet spot, okay? That created over 40 leads for this agent. That's huge. Anyway, you got to start thinking like this. We'll share all of this in our thank you email. Okay, I have one slide left, and then we'll put a bow on this. This is our, call it, dinner menu of training events at Levinson, okay? Everything we have to offer, including our live breakfast trainings, the weekly webinars, everything is in front of you, A to Z. I'm not going to go over each one. This will be in the thank you email tonight. And then my last slide is our Positive Tuesday quote in our webinar giveaway. What I want to talk about quickly, okay, is I do these things every week for the last 11 plus years, never missed a Tuesday. Why is it so important, Bill, you ask? It's not important. Okay, here's what's important. It's us showing our agents how you need to brand. and market yourself. So everybody remembers, hey, that's that crazy guy or girl that sends out every Thursday morning long-term care ideas or estate planning ideas or what's an IUL Wednesday or Monday thoughts around annuities, whatever. But you got to do it consistently and persistently to move the needle. This is my quote: faking perfection or success is never as good as admitting mistakes and failure. Okay, you got to be humble. Now everything comes to the surface, especially these days. Everybody looks you up. Okay, do the right thing. Be real. Okay, we're not perfect. Look what happened 50 minutes ago with the webinar issues. Okay, with the F&G presenters. Okay, out of our control. It's okay. We keep moving. We do the best we can. All right. Anyway, you got the point. Question of the day, and I hope you win, and I hope your little fingers are on the keyboard because you got to answer first incorrectly. My question is, I spoke about the Levinson free orphan leads. Tell me the minimum premium required so you can get a batch of orphans. The minimum premium required and how much time do you have to get that premium in the door? Okay, so the minimum number of months to get in how much premium to qualify for free orphan leads. Okay, whoever answers first wins, and Andrew's going to tell us who was first incorrect. Andrew?
Okay, it's Tamra Y. Tamra Y.
Tamra. Congrats. The answer was $10,000 minimum place premium in a 12-month period. Congrats, Tamra. Congrats to all of you. Why? Because you're all a winner because you're going to go on our Facebook page or our Google reviews page. Okay, leave a review, testimonial, whatever. It could be 2 sentences. We don't care. We'll send you the IUL prospecting book on us complimentary. Okay, plus you got a nice holiday weekend coming up. I wish all of you a happy and healthy 4th. If you have any questions, please give us a call anytime about anything. There's no dumb questions, okay? And number one, I want to thank you for being patient with us this last hour and 7 minutes, okay? Have a great 4th once again and great selling.